Perhaps you have never wondered what your vegetables get up to in the dark when the refrigerator door closes and the little light goes out. Perhaps you believe they just lay about till you open it again. Well, if you do, you will be surprised to hear the story of the beautiful Miss Broccoli, her boyfriend, the loathsome Mr. Cauliflower, young Mr. Radish, and the fall guy, Mr. Carrot. It's a tale of jealousy, murder, and revenge. Miss Broccoli had met Mr. Cauliflower when she was very young and foolish. He was a dangerous, foul-tempered man, and she very quickly began trying to think how to get away from him. A long time passed, however, before she met the handsome and virile Mr. Radish, and realized that her life with Mr. Cauliflower had to come to an end, whatever the cost. She knew that Mr. Radish could be no match for the notorious Mr. Cauliflower, so, instead, she went to see Mr. Carrot, who had always fancied Miss Broccoli, and on this particular night was quite drunk. After a few dances and a few sweet nothings in his ear, Mr. Carrot happily returned with Miss Broccoli to the apartment she shared with Mr. Cauliflower. She let Mr. Carrot pass out in the bed, and waited in the kitchen for Mr. Cauliflower to come home.
"What are you doing here?"
Mr. Cauliflower demanded.
Oh, please, Mr. Cauliflower,"
Mr. Carrot begged.
"it was Miss Broccoli. She set me up."
But Mr. Cauliflower made very quick work of Mr. Carrot, just as Miss Broccoli had planned. However, in his rage, Mr. Cauliflower didn't hear Miss Broccoli stepping up behind him with a knife. When the police arrived, they could come to no other conclusion but that Miss Broccoli had acted in self-defense. After all, poor Mr. Carrot was already dead, and everybody knew what a nasty temper Mr. Cauliflower had had. Shaking off the guilt of having lured Mr. Carrot to his death, Miss Broccoli hurried to her young lover's side, determined that they would make a good life together. But the next day, when the refrigerator light came on, Mr. and Mrs. Vegan found Mr. Cauliflower and Mr. Carrot limp in a sticky brown liquid, and supposed that they had gone off. So, instead, they cut up Miss Broccoli and Mr. Radish, cooked them in a tofu scramble, and ate them. The blogosphere reminds you, always eat your vegetables. The end.